Hi guys. So I'm gonna walk you through this most recent project, and I'm not sure if these headphones are helping or not. They're linked to the computer, so I guess we'll see. So here we are. We're gonna start talking about cross contours. We've been talking about different kinds of lines, how to use them in our drawings, and what I want you to do today is take a look at the slides. I've needed to change a few things on the slideshow to make it clearer. Now, when we look at contours, contours are the curves. They're the edges of things. So if you look at anything that has form, there are contours around it, whether they're sharp or soft or whatever, depends on what you're looking at. But anything that has form that is three-dimensional has contours of some kind. There's my coffee. Probably be listening to that beeping now. Now, if you look at this illustration, here come the kids. If you look at this illustration, look at the direction that the lines change. They change direction as they go around, as the person who drew this picture goes around the forehead of this face. And those arrows are just bringing your attention to that. Now, if you look at a dollar bill, artists, this has been a technique used for hundreds of years, maybe longer, but artists who do printmaking and engraving, which is where you use a metal plate to create an image, you scratch into it or use different kinds of tools to make marks on it, and then you use ink in those little grooves and scratches, goes through a press, and you create an image. So to create those lines, they use line. There's not soft shading generally, like when you're using a pencil or paints. So let's look a little closer and closer. And then when we really get in there, you can again see that the lines go around the shapes, and sometimes they cross over. If you look at just under the eyebrow or in the very center of the eye, those areas are of crisscross lines. And then in this under eye area, you could see there's a little bit of a line to show more about the face, more about those parts of the face. And this is use of cross-hatching, which we studied a while, like a million years ago, which is cross-hatching or hatching is using lines to create value, to create light and dark tones. Now, if you look at this image of these lamps, think about how this artist drew the lines around the curved parts, such as the top of the light, and the bottom parts that are flattened. They have a round curved edge, but the platform of the lamp is actually a flat surface. So look at how those lines changed. Now your assignment is to actually create a still life with household items. So you're going to find 3, and I have a few examples. After the examples, you'll see some lists in case you can't think of what to look at. So I walked around my house and I looked for objects that resemble geometric shapes. Like, for example, even right here. This is a cylinder. I mean, it needs to go in the trash because it's probably not even safe to burn at this point. But that's a cylinder. I have a lot of cylinders around the house. And I have kids, so I have different, I kind of like boxed up all my stuff. Cups are cylinders. Tubes from inside the toilet paper, that's another cylinder. Chapstick. I mean, you could look at my list, but what else can I just grab? I like this squishy toy. It's a half cylinder. And I have a video I'm going to upload where I drew the contour lines all over this orange, and I'm going to speed it up and upload that too. But if you look at it, these are the kinds of lines I want you to draw. And then when you start adding more value, let's say there's an actual shadow that you're representing, you're going to show more lines. All right, let's take a look here. So here I have a tin, some garlic, and a tomato. They're not overlapping. They all have a little bit of space and different shapes. And I'm going to try, I'll post a picture, but I don't want you to copy mine. I want you to walk around and find some objects of your own, a cup, a box, a little jewelry box. Here's some more. These are more from the bathroom. Got a tube of deodorant I'm almost out of, chapstick, toilet paper roll. You could even just use a roll of toilet paper. Seems like cylinders are very common. I had a little more trouble finding um, other objects. Like I had a sponge that was like a rectangle. And so your assignment is take your phone, take a camera, use your Chromebook if you have to, and create a picture of everyday objects that represent some of these geometric shapes. I saw a charger, that's fine. A phone, that's okay. Just try not to only use like one kind of shape, at least have two. It's a little harder. Like I realized that when I walked through my house. It's a little harder to find three actual shapes that I'd want to draw, but give it a shot. Now, your turn. Go take some pictures. This is 100 points classwork grade just for taking a picture and submitting it. Get that into me by tomorrow and make sure that you check tomorrow for your next assignment. All right. And I'm sorry this was late. Not that I don't want to say most of you don't turn in your work on time, but most of you aren't turning your work in on time. So I hope that that changes. But in the meantime, I think it was important to make sure the lesson was a little more clear. Have a great day. Bye, guys. I have to figure out how to turn this off, which should be interesting. Still not off, right?